Welcome to the channel. I'm Brad with Fine Tuned, and today we have a Strut Monkey special for you. We have the Strut Monkey box here, and we're just going to do a quick unboxing video for you. And I haven't opened this yet, so what you see is pretty much exactly what Strut Monkey has sent me. And I really love how they do a double walled box for a big heavy suspension like this. I mean, not a lot of people do that. We got some nice packaging in here, and look at that, we got a Strut Monkey sticker. That'll add a few horsepower to your car. I ordered the SM100 kit. This kit is pretty much an upgrade to the factory suspension, and it lowers the car about an inch with IBAC springs on it. So we'll get all this out and we'll show you what we got. Nice thing about Strut Monkey is they actually cater to you. On my vehicle behind me, I actually put IBAC springs on it, and I'm pretty happy with the ride, but at the end of the day, I never replaced all these bump stops or like these rubber hardware at all. So that's where I contacted Strut Monkey, and they sent me this kit. So I'm going to be reusing my old springs, and then that way we get these brand new springs fully assembled to go right in my vehicle with all new hardware on it. I did get the optional upper top mounts for the rear shocks. Sometimes on these F30s, these actually wear out inside. There's a rubber bushing inside, so it can make clunking noise. So I optioned that out. You don't have to get that, but for the mileage on this vehicle, I chose to, and I think it's a nice addition to this vehicle. Now, before we actually dive into showing you how to replace your suspension, I just wanted to let you know that Strut Monkey will listen to you and fine-tune your suspension needs. IBAC and BMW make a bunch of different springs depending on your trim, and there are many different bump stops too. They will ensure you achieve handling and your lowering needs for your vehicle while guaranteeing the correct fitment. One last thing to note is that they can sell you only the front springs or even only the rear springs as well. Nobody else does this. So head over to strutmonkey.com, scroll down to click advice/buy a kit, and enter all your information to get your vehicle sitting right. All right, now it's time to actually do the fun part and actually assemble it, and I'll show you how to do it with all the torque specs too. We're going to start out with the front shocks here, and as you can see, doing my job here, I messed up because the IBAC's upside down. Doesn't make a difference, but OCD me, it triggers me, so I'm happy that we got this kit to install it, and those are installed the correct way. But anyway, the F30, the F31, and also the 4 Series has super easy suspension up front. This is an X-Drive car, so if you have rear-wheel drive, it actually might be even a little bit more easier for you. We're going to start with the pinch bolt first that pinches the strut to the actual knuckle, and it's a 16 nut on this back side here with an 18 millimeter head on the front side. The next thing to remove is the sway bar end link over here. It's a 16 millimeter head. Sometimes you could get away with doing an impact on it. Other times you have to put a T30 in here and remove it that way. So we'll try the impact right now. And we got lucky with it removed that way. All right, now it's actually time to separate this knuckle here from the shock. You could use a chisel, but I have this fancy tool from Amazon that was super cheap, and it helps me release that pinch tension on this. So we'll go ahead and do that right now. And that just makes it easier to slide the shock down and out. And another thing you want to be careful of is this ABS sensor. So you can release it from its little holder over here and get it out of the way. And that way you don't put any tension on this wiring at all and break it. And another thing to note that this ABS sensor goes around the outside of this knuckle too, so you don't want it on the back side at all either. Now it's time to go up above and release the bolts up there. Up top here, you do have to disassemble a few things. These are half twist 10mm nuts here. So you just twist them 90 degrees. And then you could lift up right here on this pull tab and then slide this top piece out. Now we have access to these 3 16mm bolts, and we also have, I believe this is a E18. Let me double check for you guys. Yep, that's an E18 socket for the strut brace. So we'll take all those off right now. And we're going to slide this out from the front half and pull it out. Okay, we got both of them side by side here. Now we're actually going to transfer over this paper gasket here. And all this really is for is galvanic corrosion. And it just separates the steel body from this aluminum top hat and also creates just a nice barrier between the vehicle. It's really not needed, but I like to transfer it over. And now we could go ahead and put this assembly right in. You want to make sure that you line up these alignment pins to the body, and it just makes it really easy to install it. And then go ahead and start a few of these 16mm screws or bolts. The torque spec for these are 28 Newton meters, same with the strut brace as well. We'll go ahead and tighten that up. All right, this is all wrapped up here. Just make sure that you put this nice big seal all the way around this plastic cowl. And when you guys do the other side, it's the same process. So we're done up here and we'll shut the hood. Now it's time to install this strut. A little lube goes a long way. So we'll just lightly coat the inside here. That way we don't scratch up the strut going in. And yeah, it'll slide in easier for you guys. It's basically the same procedure going back in. You just want to make sure, well, first of all, make sure that this alignment pin right here goes in this crack. So right now we are aimed the wrong direction. So we'll go ahead and spin this around. And now we're at the right direction. And what you want to do is just push down on this knuckle here and grab this strut, and then it'll slide in nice and easy for you guys. And then once again, just make sure that this alignment notch is correct. Right now I'm like a 1/4 inch off, so I'll turn it. And that is the right position. And then it literally slides right up into place. What you want to do before you actually tighten this bolt down, go ahead and put either a jack or a stand under here and compress it just ever so slightly. That way you get it right in the seat of this, so you can tighten it down and put that bolt in. Now with the bottom compressed, you want to wiggle the knuckle a little bit just to make sure that the strut is seated in the knuckle. And then now we need to remove our tool that we had in here. We could put the bracket on, and you just want to make sure that the ABS sensor is on the outside of the strut once again. And then you can move this bracket in its place and put the bolt through. The bolt goes through the front side and the nut goes on the back side. The torque spec for this lower bolt is 44 Newton meters plus 90 degrees. With BMW, you have to replace that bolt. That's what they want you to do. On my vehicle, I didn't replace that bolt because BMW makes some really good hardware. I just tightened it up to 55 Newton meters, and that seems to be good for me. And the final thing on the front is our sway bar end link. So we'll go ahead and grab that and put it right in the strut. And then we'll go ahead and grab our 16mm nut and put it back on. For me, it's nice to use the impact and just drive it on. And the torque spec for the nut is 56 Newton meters. I'm not showing you guys how to do this side because it's literally the identical thing to the other side, but in case you guys have a headlight level sensor, it will be on this arm right here. Just make sure you don't bend it or tweak it when doing this. You might want to remove it. Sometimes it's a 10 millimeter nut on them, so I would just remove it from the arm and set it aside. And yeah, that's everything you guys need to know on this driver's side over here. Now the front's all done, so we'll move on to the rear axle over here. And this one's even easier in my opinion. First thing back here is you want to remove this arrow cover down here, and it's got 4 10 mil bolts. Nuts actually. So we'll remove that, get that out of the way. Now it's time to support this lower camber arm here. So we'll put our stand, or maybe in your case a jack, underneath here, and we'll lower this down to compress this spring slightly, and then we could take off the shock and raise the car back up. Now it's time to remove this lower shock bolt. It's a 18 millimeter socket on the back side, and we have a E18 on the front side. And pull that bolt out all the way. On the top here, we have 3 E12s. So go ahead and loosen up all these and take them out all the way. Before we raise up the vehicle, we're going to remove this 21 bolt here on the bottom of the knuckle. I do have this jack supporting this camber arm down here. That way we support the spring up there, and then that way this knuckle is kind of free floating. It might be a little tricky for you guys to line up everything, but you just got to play around with it a little bit. But the idea is to pull this bolt out just like that without having any tension or anything on it. And next, you want to lower down your jack. And now we could take out the spring and the shock all at once. If you're not replacing the rear spring, you just have to touch the shock, and you could leave that other outer 21 bolt. And then now we could just push down at the bottom of this rear camber arm and take out our spring. I have the spring out here. We're just swapping the rubbers on here. We have this one that goes on the top, and I like to put it on the spring before I actually put it in. And I also like to line up this little notch with the top of the spring, so make sure that's seated nice. And then this is for the bottom one, and I also like to do the same thing and put the bottom one in here as well. And then this is just a little alignment pin for when you're installing it. Put some lube on it so it slides in nice and easy for you guys. And another thing to note on my vehicle, I don't know if this is a wagon specific thing, but this rubber spacer was at the top of this rubber guide or isolator. So just make sure that if you have this on your wagon or maybe even your car, put it back in as well. And then next thing to do is install this into the vehicle. I like to put the bottom in first. This nipple alignment pin goes on the outside. So go ahead and put that in. And then I like to pull the bottom here and slide in the top section. Just like that. The next thing is we have to raise up this control arm here so that we could put the knuckle back on. We need to slide this bolt back in. And yeah, a tech tip for you guys is you want to make sure this arm is kind of pointed forward a little bit when you're raising this up. Otherwise you'll fight this ball joint for quite a while. The torque spec for this bottom ball joint is 165 Newton meters. As you can see, these are the rear shocks. This is the old one, this is the new one. I lowered this thing and I didn't replace the bump stops. Whenever you're lowering a vehicle, you want to make sure the bump stops match your lowering springs. So we have an inch shorter bump stop on this one, and then this is the OEM factory one. So Bad on me, but it's nice that I'm actually replacing it with the correct stuff. I like to compress them so it makes it a little bit easier. And then I bring in the vehicle here and put the bottom half in first. And then make sure you have your bolt ready too. Once your bolt's in the bottom, you can put on these 3 bolts up here. I like to start all 3 before I actually tighten up everything. The torque spec for these upper mounts are 28 Newton meters, the same as the front. The one thing about tightening up this lower bolt is it's isolated in rubber. So when that's isolated in rubber, you have to tighten these bolts up in normal ride position. And that goes for everything on the control arms and stuff that are rubber. This one is a ball joint out here, so it can move freely. So that's why we didn't have to tighten up that one in normal ride position. But the rubber ones, you have to. So we already raised down this vehicle. And I kind of go when like the control arm is about like level with the ground or parallel to the ground. And that's how I like to tighten it up. I'm sure there's a measurement somewhere, but this works out great for me. So same thing with the front. This bottom bolt is torque to yield on the shock. What I'm doing is I'm just tightening it up to 120 Newton meters. The factory torque spec, if you replace the bolt and the nut, is 100 Newton meters plus a 90-degree rotation. All right, last thing on this rear is to put this plastic aero cover on. I like to put the nut on my socket first and then put this up in its home. And then do the rest of the 3. Okay, that's exactly how you do the rear. It's pretty simple. And if you're doing the other side and you have a headlight sensor on it, please remember to remove that. That way you don't wreck it or break it. And right now we'll actually throw the wheels on it, drop it down, and show you the stance.